IShowSpeed's Africa streams are doing multiple generational undamaging to your brain because y'all really thought that Africa was a bunch of twigs and huts. Like there isn't a representative from every single country that wants something out of this continent. Now, granted, some of the comments are people trying to be funny, but I can tell some of these are 100%. No, you really thought that. Y'all really thought Africa was in the arms of the air. You really thought that was, you thought it was Africa. Do you know how wealthy Africa is? Do you know how large Africa is? I'm telling you, he is undoing the damage of multiple decades. And I, for one, can't not commend him for doing that because wow. In the future, we are going to have multiple generations of people who are more conscious about how things happen over in Africa. And it is going to be because they saw what it looks like on IShowSpeed stream. W Speed. Oh, and Grown Man, by the way.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that, they don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. It's to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him, and I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.
Speed going to Africa is way deeper than what you think it is. And I'll tell you why. So, everybody growing up in the States, I can't speak for other countries, but people growing up in the States, you see Africa, especially as a kid, you see Africa as like some like desert with really primitive people just walking around with fucking spears and shit. But what Speed is doing, he's showing you all the cities and all this shit in there. It's more than that. And I'll say for me, fortunately for me, somebody was able to show me this shit early on. So I was able to recognize like, oh, so there's way more out there. But Speed is showing this shit in real time on a stream, showing you how this shit is. And he's getting more love down there than he was getting in Europe.
So IShowSpeed is in Africa. And it breaks my heart to say that I'm realizing that the most misinformed people about Africa are Black people. Those that hold the most negative and radical misconceptions and stereotypes towards Africa are Black people. Not all of them, but there are many of them that do that. And let's be honest, what we are seeing with IShowSpeed in Africa right now is exposing a lot of lies that have been circulating for many, many years. Lies about Africa, lies about Africans, and especially lies about the relationship between Africans and Black people. in the diaspora. You know, for the longest time, some Black people have been told and taught, have been convinced, and have also self-convinced, and I must emphasize on self-convincing, that Africans hate Black Americans, that Africa is hostile, Africa is unwelcoming, Africa is disconnected from us, and that Africa is primitive, Africa is undeveloped, underdeveloped, and backward. And right now, in real time, in front of millions of people, the entire narrative could just be falling apart because of one single influencer, and because what we are basically saying is there are no racial slurs, there's no hostility, there's no "you don't belong here." It's just warmth, it's just protection, it's laughter, it's belonging, it's just a guy blending in with his people.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, Speed making your boy want to go to Africa. Like, dude, he deserves Streamer of the Year. Like, he might win again this year. Like, dude, really, when you sit here and think about it, Speed has such a big impact on the world. Not even just the streamer community. A lot of us forget, like, okay, the streamer community is the streamer community. But to have an impact on the world, like, dude got people chasing him down in Africa. Like, people showing him so much love in Africa, y'all. Like, he legit makes me want to go. Like, he done raced a cheetah. He's literally living his life to go back to the motherland and really make it look that lit. It's crazy. Like, dude is having a time in his life. Like, he's literally touring the whole Africa. Like, when you sit here and think about it, Speed, his streams are so generational. It's no streamers that's doing what dude is doing. And I think that's why he keeps winning Streamer of the Year, because doing them subathons and everything gonna only get you so far. Like, dude doing subathons and some. Like, Speed, yeah, he's the best streamer. I'm gonna give it to him. Like, when you really sit here and think about the stuff he's doing, he can literally make a TV show out of his life, let alone stream. Once again, dude, life is a TV show. Like, it's a movie dang. Like, he done seen the world. Do y'all understand that? Dude done seen the world. Like, bro, look, he was having so much fun. He was finna race the cheetah. The cheetah ended up scratching. Guess what? He still raced it. He didn't even care. Like, he's like, I'm gonna still race it. Because you know how Speed think? It's one in a lifetime. I don't even care. None of it's about to mess up this moment. I don't care. I'm about to have fun. I'm in Africa. And he's doing his job while in Africa, talking to the community in the world, the chat, the audience. Dude, make you want to go to Africa, y'all.
Speed Africa Tour really has taught me you got to ignore what people tell you, period. Because majority of the time, they not even speaking from a place of experience. They really just speaking because they don't want you to do something. Sometimes it can be coming from a place of just jealousy or just extreme dislike, but most of the time, it's just because they just don't want to see you actually improve. They don't want to see you expand your horizons, actually try out new things, maybe make a couple new friends. In a lot of cases, especially when it comes to like a whole lot of this internet stuff, people would rather see you remain stagnant than ever do anything else. And this is kind of like proof positive of that, because there's really people who, now granted, there's less of them, but there's people who genuinely did not want him to do this. And they've never even been to Africa, haven't really thought about going, and the few times that they did, it was to somehow disrespect everyone there. Even though from what I'm seeing, it looked like everyone there is just welcoming him with open arms. Bro just was in Mozambique. I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff about the whole continent off of just a few streams he's been there. So yeah, man, you gotta ignore a lot of the noise, man.
So our FBA brothers and sisters are at it again, hating, and this time it's on IShowSpeed. Let's talk about it. So IShowSpeed was doing an Africa tour, and I know he was in Angola and South Africa, and he was getting a lot of love down there. Not like when he was in Asia or when he was in Europe. You know, he was actually getting respect, love, and decency. Now, we have a lot of the FBA crowd who is upset that he went to go to Africa to kind of bridge that gap with unity, and I don't even think it was intentional. I think IShowSpeed is just doing what he does, traveling to different countries, entertaining as such, but during this type of climate, it was very impactful, the type of response he was getting from African people. Because like I say, FBA is nothing more than just black YT supremacists. They like to bridge division and divide the community every single day with their nonsensical arguments against Africa, and I know we have a lot lot of people on the African continent who do the same as well. But being that African Americans are the richest Africans on the planet and we have a bigger platform than most Africans, you can tell that they're doing it with a superiority complex. I seen people on the internet talking about, why are you trying to unite with them? They don't like us. Oh, this is propaganda. What are you talking about? This is propaganda. Anything to run away from African ancestry that you claim you don't have, so I don't understand why IShowSpeed, who acknowledges it, is being demonized right now. When I say on my page, do not fall for the FBA trap, it's simply due to this. Who wants to be lost in a mindset of hate and disdain towards a continent of people that we descend from, right? Regardless of whether you think you descend from Africans or whether you think you descend from Native Americans or whatever nonsense FBA is talking about today, it was a great thing to see IShowSpeed out there getting love and showing the true side of the African continent. We don't follow YT supremacist rhetoric on this page, man. We don't follow the idea that Africans are somehow our enemies and somehow doing us worse than the YT man or some of the other demographics who have invested interest in destroying us. I'm not about to sit here and let a couple of Africans who came here, you know what I'm saying, and get a position of power make me turn away from my ancestral homeland and at the same time demonize the majority of people who I know want to just bridge that gap and create black unity. Do you not see what's happening on the African continent at this time? Everybody is trying to unite, and then all of a sudden FBAs come out of nowhere. So shout out to you, IShowSpeed. I hope propaganda continues to be destroyed with just realistic content, IRLs, in real life content, just like IShowSpeed. Shout out to you, little bro.
I just seen Speed stream in Africa. I thought the stream was gonna be, you know, giving back, feeding the homeless, feeding the needy. Nigga, them people living good. Nigga, them people living better than some of us, nigga. It was hella love, like you could feel the love through the screen, gang. Like, then another thing, did y'all see the bitches? Did y'all see the ass? Like, even Speed himself had to ask a couple of them shawties, like, is that real? Like, in America, we used to BBLs. Oh, bro, they shit is there. Natural, no exaggeration. It was one segment of the stream where Speed would just walk up the street, shawty clapping her shit. He looked the other way, shawty clapping her shit. I'm like, nigga. Salute to Speed for going over to Africa and showing us the side of Africa that we never see. Them people over there living good, bro, and they got shit in order, bro. Salute to all the Africans, specifically the African women, you feel me, Hey, and salute to IShowSpeed, man. W stream, brother, great content, brother.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro, such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like, the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Now, what did I say in my video? I said that our people was going to treat him like he was at home, that he was going to be eating good, and he was going to be welcomed by the African people. And we watched that happen country after country after country. Now, I wasn't lying in my video. I've been making a concerted effort to tune into these streams. And honestly, it's been beautiful. It reminds me of what life feels like, what life looks like, what life sounds like, so on and so forth back home in Haiti. And in some ways back home in Florida, and in other ways back home in Africa. And it's not that all African countries are the same, it's that we have a thread that unites us all. We have a way that we communicate. We have a way that we speak to each other. We have a way that we understand life that I think is so beautiful. And I also think is very prevalent in these streams. Now, there's still some time left. He's still doing his stream. He's still in Africa, but I think it's beautiful. Obviously, it's not perfect, but I think this is something that has a very large net positive for the African diaspora. And don't be mistaken thinking that this type of stuff don't matter, because it does. For the PR that Speed did for China, you had people on here talking like China was the best place to be on earth. I just hope they give my man a break. You feel me? Because this stuff has to be overwhelming for anybody. But yeah, if I haven't watched the stream, I'm looking at clips. If I'm not looking at clips, I'm scrubbing through and seeing what's going on. It's just nice to see my people. You feel me? It's just nice to see us.
Did you guys see this? Speed was in Botswana in a safari, and while he was admiring the beauty, he made a reflection about his Africa trip. Listen.
I love Africa, bro. I really do. I'm kind of mad that I didn't come here more sooner. Africa is an amazing country. This is your home, you know. Animal? No, I'm saying Africa is an amazing place. This is your home. Yeah, man. Damn. I don't think you understand how much, a new, y'all know me, bro. My dopamine is I did a lot of shit. I went to the Champions League final, World Cup final. I met Ronaldo. I did a lot of cool, basically what I'm saying, I did a lot of cool shit in my life. But this is like refreshing for me. Like everything is cool to me. Everything is just like it's such a new experience, and it's so fun for me. So this trip has really like opened up my eyes, man. Seriously.
Speed, he said that he loves Africa, and he agreed that Africa is his home. He definitely got a refreshing and eye-opening experience. He got to see the elephants up close in Botswana, and before that, he saw the tribe daily life in Eswatini.
I don't know if it's bots, but I'm watching the IShowSpeed thing, and I'm seeing a lot of like bots or regular people saying, I thought Africa was all huts. What? The place that all the Europeans steal from, you thought it was all huts? The Europeans stole so much from Africa, they even took the people. That's where you get a person like me, a black American. So what are you talking about? Africa's rich on its own. It's just, there's like, what's stopping it from being rich is Europeans stealing and causing confusion. That's what's stopping it. Like, black Americans, we can see our oppressor. They can't. It's like another black person doing it over there.
You see how when Speed was streaming in other countries, they was calling him out of his name? They was being racist. He's not going through any of that in Africa. In Africa, it looked like Speed is living his best life. You could feel every bit of the love in his streams. This young man met the president of Angola. He's taking time with these people. He's racing people. He raced the African flag. You see how the African people was showing Speed love? Why wasn't Speed getting that love anywhere else? And not saying that he wasn't getting love fully, but he's not getting no hate in Africa. Why is that? Y'all remember the streams. People clipped those streams up. When Speed was in Europe, nasty work. Speed is in Africa and people are treating him like a human being. That says a lot. And you would think the way these people paint pictures about Africa, about people in Africa, that they wouldn't be treating Speed how they're treating Speed. But as we can see, Speed is being treated like a natural human being. And he is around very civilized people in Africa. Get that. Watch the stream.
The propaganda against Africa stops today. The tide is shifting and the energy is moving towards the motherland once again. The motherland will no longer be disrespected. I urge all of us to go there and visit and see what's really going on for ourselves. I was already planning to take a trip to Africa months ago, and I can't wait because I'm really going for an extended period of time, to the point where I'm gonna have to pack up a lot of the things that I worked for in my home. But it's because I want to give Africa the time and attention that it deserves. We come from Africa, but then we hate on Africa as a travel destination, right? Humanity began in Africa, but now all of a sudden humanity doesn't want to visit Africa. So when I see IShowSpeed going there, I see streamers going there, I see that the energy is shifting over there as it should, it makes me happy because it's like what I knew in my heart was right. We have to go and visit that place, man. That's where everything started from. And my background is Jamaican and I listen to like Rastafarian music. And in a lot of the Rasta music, they talk so much about the motherland and moving back to Africa and visiting Africa and getting in touch with our roots. And I think that it's time that the propaganda ends. It's time for us to stop thinking that America is just the only country in the world or the best country in the world. It's not about who's the best. It's not about the only, not about none of that. It's just about experiencing something for yourself and seeing something new, getting a brand new experience and being in touch with what's going on and your roots, man. So shout out to IShowSpeed for traveling around the world and exposing what's really going on in Africa. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful place, beautiful energy, beautiful people, and I can't wait to visit one day.
So everybody knows iSpeed. iSpeed is one of the baddest streamers on social media. He's dope as hell. You know what I love about Speed is that he does like physical challenges from flips to sprinting. He even beat, I think, what's his name? What was it, Ashton Hall?
Too slow, too slow, too slow. Stop playing with me, dude.
He kind of beat him in that sprint, right? So one thing I love about Speed is he takes challenges, man, physical challenges, and he's curious as hell about everything. But what I love about him is his international curiosity. He's been to China, Europe, he goes all over the place. Now he's doing his African tour, and I really love it even more. You know why? Because everybody looks like him, you know? And I can see when he was in like Europe, there was a lot of like racial bullshit. You know, of course they were accepting, but you know, Europeans, they can't help but say some stupid shit about black people, you know, they can't help it. It's just in you. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna be mad, but you're gonna be, you know how I know you're gonna be mad? Because you're gonna say some stupid shit on my comments, but it's the truth. He looks so comfortable in Africa, and because, you know, you're with your people, man. Regardless of what you may say about it, Black Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, black folks are black folks. We're family. We are family because a lot of us all look like each other. Sometimes we don't know where we're from until we say something. So it's not an accident because Africans, and guess what? They had a whole scientific test on the European and the African. And the European's genetic makeup is 97% human, 3% Neanderthal. And the African is 100% human. So those are the results. Of course you feel at home because Africans, no matter all the atrocities that African people, black people have felt in the world, we're very forgiving. If we judge you by your content of character, yeah. I have white friends, you know? Yeah, I have white friends. And you know why I'm cool with them? Because of their character. I don't, because a lot of times you're going to be like, Godfrey, you just hate white people. I don't like people who do bad shit. I don't like anybody that does bad shit. But unfortunately, a lot of the shit you do, a lot of people that do the bad shit to black people are usually white. That's all I'm saying. But when he was in China, they were making fun of him too. Asians do the same. But Asians, I'm sorry to say this, but you kind of got the same genetic makeup as Europeans. And I have Asian friends too. I have friends from every walk of life. Because they have good character. Most of the time we're judged by our color, which is sad. But when I was in Nigeria visiting my relatives a year and a half ago, I had no stress for 2 weeks. You know why? Because everybody looked like me. I didn't see a white person for maybe 10 days. And I didn't feel stressed out. I felt like I belonged no matter if I went into a cafe or a hotel. It didn't feel like, what are they doing here? Because a lot of times you feel that way as a person, a black person, you feel like you walk into a hotel and white folks always look at you like you don't belong. It's just what it is. Just hold yourself accountable for that shit. Speed, keep doing what you're doing. Africa, thank you for embracing them. And all of this propaganda about us hating each other is bullshit. That's a small amount of people that it's just they like to blow shit up because they want to keep us all divided. And Speed is proving that, yo, man, we are the same. We are family, man. And I hope that this can be for the whole human family. And when you see a black person, enough with the racist bullshit. You can't help it, can you? When you see some fly you can't help it. And I think most of the times when you're making fun of black folks, it's because of insecurity. It's because of jealousy. Because you don't even know these black folks and you just make up shit that you learned on TV, but then half of you are copying the black culture all god day at the same time making fun of them. So there's a hatred and a jealousy and an insecurity, and that's where that comes from. That's another one for your
Speed's Africa tour is kind of scaring me right now because the amount of people admitting that they didn't realize that Africa wasn't just like sticks and mud. That, like, you know, Africa actually has, you know, modern technology and roads and running water and all that type of stuff. And then that Africa is a continent, you know, not a country. I've seen clips of Speed's tour, and like I love it because every place he goes, he kind of rewrites like the stereotype or the image that people have in their head, and he shows that hey, like this is a normal place. But especially with Africa, some of y'all I genuinely like worry about. Because even when people who are like, oh, but you know, the American propaganda makes you think that Africa is just like nothing and extremely all this. Guys, can you do a little bit of research and maybe just like a little bit of logical thinking? Like, do you really think an entire continent will just be sticks in mud and tribal people? If you just look up Africa City, you will see so many cities that look just like ours with skyscrapers, big buildings, roads, infrastructure.
And I personally believe that what Speedy's doing right now, without even realizing it, is he's literally waking up the masses. He's waking up the masses from all the propaganda and the lies that the media has fed America, Black Americans, about Africans and Africa. You know, he might not even know it or be aware of it, but he is literally healing generations right now. And trust and hear what I'm saying. Speed was divinely chosen for a time such as this. It might be an innocent thing and look like it's streaming, but a lot of Americans are waking up and realizing they were fed lies. And everything that they learned and were taught about Africa were lies. I have so much more respect for Speed after watching just a couple of days of his tour.
The way IShowSpeed is moving, you would think that he's like a streaming Henry Louis Gates. I wasn't expecting him to go to a country like Angola or South Africa, but he's about to do wonders for tourism. Like, he might legitimately meet his match in the athletic realm. Like, he's gonna legit see where his dreams come from. But I really love like how he integrated himself in the culture so fast when he went to Angola. Right from the jump, he's doing front flips while people are doing capoeira. He's dancing with South African kids. I would have thought that he was from those countries the way he blended in. But I love this because it proves one thing. Africans are cordial, they're respectful. Yeah, he has fans, he has people that come up to him, ask autographs. But this time when he does his stream, he doesn't have to worry about people grabbing his hair and selling it on eBay. I haven't heard any racial slurs. I haven't heard anybody violate Speed. Like, it's dispelling a lot of American propaganda. And he's actually gonna do crazy numbers. And I wouldn't be surprised if this helps with the tourism in a lot of these countries. I mean, America tells us that Africans are savage, primitive people. But what you see, man, is like they are actually treating him with a lot of respect. I love this for him, and I hope it goes well.
IShowSpeed is pissing off America. America has tried so hard to make it look like Africans were living over in Bedrock with the Flintstones. And everybody's at war holding a machete with some tuxedo shoes. America tries so hard to make it look like Africans are out there stopping cars with their feet. That's not the case. Every time I saw Africa growing up as a kid, it was on Feed the Children. For 70 cents, you could feed a child. And they showed nothing but starving people. IShowSpeed is showing women that are looking thick and delicious. Send me 70 cents. Whatever they're eating, I need to eat. Because I'm trying to be thick and delicious. And food out here is expensive. It's hard to gain weight. Speed even showed a guy living with his 2 wives, and they both have their own separate home. And when he gets tired of the both of them, he goes to his own place. Africa is living in the future. Speed is exposing the world to a whole different level of Africa and getting away from that propaganda machine that America drives.
Hey yo, I know I talk big shit about Africa, B. But after watching this IShowSpeed stream in Africa, South Africa, and Johannesburg and all over, like, yo, I'm coming. Yo, listen, everybody who I offended, all those Africans down there in South Africa and Burkina Faso and all, yo, my bad. Yo, call me Kunta Kinte, because I'm on my motherfucking way. I'll see y'all in a minute. Speed's showing me the real side of Africa right now. Like, yo, like it ain't all like Somali or here Congo, and man, you got some places out there that are just, it just scream home to your soul. Good looking, Speed. Call me Kunta.
IShowSpeed streams in Africa needs to be studied because he is breaking down generational stereotypes about Africa, about all these people just live in huts and they're not modernized. And you can just tell with the energy and vibes that they give, Speed is feeling welcome. He's feeling at home amongst these people. And when he was in Europe, he was being treated as an escapade. He was being treated like as a minstrel show, like, do this for us, do this dance for us, boy. And it's a complete different energy. And that's why at the end of the day, we need to get rid of these diaspora wars, because if we actually were amongst each other in person, we would get along and we would like each other. I've seen a lot of people say they are wanting to visit Africa after IShowSpeed has been doing this stream. So yes, this has been successful. It's been educational. And I'm actually considering tuning into one of the streams to actually learn something from IShowSpeed. Like, to me, this is what streaming is all about. Not just bringing celebrities and being messy. This man is teaching people. He's doing different things. He's exposing himself to the world, and he's making the world a better place. IShowSpeed is great energy, and to see him from where he started as a streamer to see where he is today, I'm proud of who he has become.
Speed in Africa makes me so happy. I just love seeing that he's having a great time, because a lot of Black Americans don't travel to Africa. They stay in America and they believe a lot of the lies that their white racist granddaddy be telling them about Africa. And I know a lot of them watching Speed will say, oh, it's because he's a celebrity. And it's like, y'all don't even know what you're talking about. Y'all just be ignorant as fuck doing all of this. But when I was in Nigeria, like, I would see white people more than I would ever see. I don't think I saw one Black American when I was in Nigeria for like 8 years. So I just love to see when Black Americans visit anywhere in Africa, they have a great time, they connect, they just have great experiences. Of course, traveling, going anywhere, you won't always have great experiences. That's just how life is. But it just brings me so much joy. I never saw, like, you would see a white person in Africa before you see a Black American. The same white Americans, you see them in Africa before you see a Black. It's so crazy because white Americans will go to Africa, have a grand ass time. And then the Black Americans, the ones that look really close to a lot of Africans, are the ones that are like, yeah, they hate us. I can't go. They won't accept us. Like, why? How come you've already made up your mind before you even know anything? And that's how I know it's y'all's racist granddaddies, white granddaddies. I see a lot of Black Americans saying, oh, I don't think Africans like us. You don't think 54 countries in Africa, like 54 different countries with thousands of different tribes of people, they don't like just you from one country in America, like in North America? Like, you really think, like, how did you come to that conclusion? Did you go there and everyone rejected you? You went to every country and they all rejected you? No. If you are a Black American person that has, born and raised in America, never been to Africa, I need you to delete everything that you think you know about Africa. Just delete it. Because Africa has never been portrayed to be what it actually is to the world. The indigenous people in Africa have never been portrayed as what they really are, especially if you're American. You know that the white racist American government, how racist America has been, it's changing slowly, but you know what is going on. Racist African cartoons, how they display Africans, the fact that a lot of racist people like to use Africa to like taunt Black Americans. Y'all need to delete all that, because that is what is giving you your information. That is where you're coming from when you talk about Africa. You don't know shit about Africa. Even most Africans don't know shit about Africa. So if they don't know shit, I know you don't know shit. You actually have zero experience with Africans. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, the Africans in America, that's not it, sorry. And it's so funny how y'all always like to forget African booty scratchers. The fact that y'all bullied Africans so much that they have to say they was Jamaican. Y'all forget all that and then turn around and be like, I don't think Africans like us. Oh, really? You don't think? Because all 54 countries of Africans, they don't like you, just... And y'all will go to white European countries. Y'all will go everywhere before you go to Africa. All I'm saying is broaden your horizons and always assume that you don't know enough. Especially if you're a Black person, whatever idea that you have of another group of Black people, just put yourself in their shoes and be like, if I was them, would I also be like that? If the answer is no, then question, find out information, do some research.
Bro, I'm seeing this Speed thing, like he went to Africa and I'm checking the comments. I don't know if they're bots. Like, I don't know if people are trolling or if they're genuinely being serious, but they're like, oh, Africa's not just huts. Bro, if your age starts with a 2 or higher, if you're 20 plus and you genuinely think that like the majority of people in Africa live in huts, you're slow. Like, I don't even think the education system failed you. I think you were just destined to be an idiot. For Speed to get to this country, he had to land at an airport, right? Which means that this country has enough infrastructure to have an airport, which means they have a control tower, which means they have roads leading to the airport, which means they have security, which means that security has a base somewhere, right? The police, they have a base somewhere, right? Those people need a place to live. Like, bro, like you think the Angolan pilot or some Angolan politician or doctor is going home to their hut after leaving this state-of-the-art facility, right? After being like in the cockpit of a plane, like, yo, think. There's a hotel this dude's probably staying at. Like, what are we even talking about right now, man? Like, people, oh my God, and it's all Americans too. Americans, like, genuinely, bro, when Europeans are saying Americans are stupid, like, some of y'all are genuinely stupid, bro. How, bro, like, why would there not be, like, a big building in Africa? Like, why wouldn't there be one? What? And you have an African friend who lives here, who goes home to, and you know he goes home to Africa every summer or every December. Where do you think he's going? You think this dude goes from his 2-story house in the suburbs to go live in a hut? The funny thing is that being in a hut doesn't even necessarily mean that you're poor or that, you know, you're not doing great in life. Like, a lot of people are just choosing to live there because they can, right? Some of those people have a lot of money, man, right? The poor people are the ones that live in the slums in the city. But then again, it's the city surrounded by tall buildings. You get what I'm saying? Oh my God. Anyway, bro, this Speed thing is insane. I can't wait till he gets to Kenya. Yeah, that's you know, that's the best country in Africa.
So to my American people, because, you know, IShowSpeed is in Africa. As you can like clearly see, he is up in Africa. I think he went to Angola already and South Africa. He's having a fabulous time. He brought in the New Year's in South Africa. So everybody, because I'm seeing a lot of like, everybody's having like a reaction to this. But, you know, I'm talking about, you know, my black people out here in America. I've been to Ghana this year. And for the most part, I had a really good time. And it's good to explore different places so, you know, you can get a different, like, you know, like feel for the different countries. And, you know, every country isn't heaven. It's just that from someone that's been to the continent of Africa, I would say go. And a few things about Ghana is that it's extremely safe. Stay in an Airbnb. The people are hella friendly. The food is really good. I'll be in Kenya this year and Nigeria. So, you know, my people, visit.
All right, so let's talk and let's just be honest with ourselves. What this moment is really exposing is something I think is a bit uncomfortable, you know, because recently there's been a huge rise of Black people disconnecting and disassociating themselves from Africa. And we need to call it for what it is. This is self-hate, you know, conditioned by history and other factors. The idea that Africans hate Black Americans or Black people outside of the continent has been built mostly on very isolated, personal, individual incidences, and, you know, online arguments, misinformation, and rumors, merely hearsay. You know, I heard that this is this about Africans. I heard this is this about Black Americans. The same thing exists in reverse. It's not just about Black Americans towards Africans or Africans towards, you know, Blacks in the diaspora. But none of this really has ever, you know, represented the lived reality, like the everyday reality of of, people on the continent or even in the diaspora, and with Speed here in Africa. First of all, we have to agree that he didn't come to Africa with this agenda. He does this. It's his life. It's his business. But his presence in Africa right now is accidentally putting these divisive narratives to shame. Millions are watching him move freely, comfortably, safely, joyfully across African countries. And he's blending because fundamentally, I'd say he belongs. That's why he blends in. Unlike what we've seen him go through when he's in other non-black, places. Um, what's also important to note here is that this truth did not start with IShowSpeed, to be honest. For many years, many years right now, regular black people, not celebrities, not influencers, not people with big platforms like IShowSpeed, have been traveling to Africa, relocating to Africa, investing, reconnecting, building families, building businesses, and telling the same story that Africa is not what we are told it is by the media, by colonial education, because they didn't have massive platforms like the one maybe Speed has. Their voices have been being ignored. It reminds me of a certain time just a few months ago when I shared a dinner with a Black American lady who had permanently relocated to Nairobi, Kenya. And she was telling me that her first time encountering Africa was a friend of hers had moved to Ghana in West Africa for a business trip. And then when she was in Ghana, the friend, she video called her. And it was her biggest surprise because she didn't think there were phones in Africa or internet or you could call back, to the United States of America. And in the video call, she tells me that she saw a kids play park, the mall, and she was like, so all that is in Africa? And it's from then that her whole concept of Africa changed. And she tells me then she visited a few different countries in Africa and finally decided it was time for her to relocate to her country of choice, which she moved to Nairobi in Kenya. So now a global influencer, IShowSpeed, shows up and suddenly the truth is becoming too visible to suppress, too visible to ignore. And this is also exposing something, the so-called diaspora wars, for what they really are. Because these are basically, I term them as manufactured division. Slavery really separated us physically, and that is the undeniable truth historically. Even though many of us have now, begun to even deny that slavery did not happen. And colonialism basically distorted our identities and our understanding of each other. This is very evident even in the continent of Africa. Even amongst the different African countries, there's still a lot of colonial legacy that's creating a lot of division amongst African countries, and that is what Pan-Africanism is trying to fight. And modern media, if you realize, profits off keeping us suspicious of one another, looking at each other as if, we are the enemies, And division has never benefited Black people. I can assure you that. Not Africans, not Black Americans, not Afro-Caribbeans, not Afro-Latinos, not any Black person. It has only benefited our foes, our enemies, politically, economically, and even psychologically. And yes, there have been a lot of misunderstandings on both sides. I can tell you for sure that Africans themselves are very ignorant about the Black diaspora. They barely know anything about it, unless those who take an active, role to try and educate themselves. Because even in the so-called history books or the education systems, nothing of that sort is actually taught. Because you also understand that most, if not all, African countries inherit that, education system from the colonialists. And a lot of this is hidden, so they don't want us to know about each other. So unless you go ahead to know who are these people, who are Afro Latinos, who are Afro Caribbeans, who are Black Americans, the education system basically, especially at basic levels, doesn't say anything about Black people outside of the African continent. So there's a lot of misunderstanding on both sides. That's real. But this misunderstanding is not hatred. And it's definitely not destiny. We are seeing, what we are seeing right now is a reminder of a deeper truth that we need to wrap our heads around it. When Black people meet outside of propaganda, outside of stereotypes, outside of online rage spaces, we recognize each other instantly, that Black unity is not romantic. It's not symbolic. And I always say Black unity is not a unity of neighborhood. It should be strategic. We don't have to all live in Africa. We just need to be strategic with our unity and understand who we are, where we come from, culturally and economically and globally. Then we can leverage on our Blackness to win. To all of us who can win. So the bridge between Africa and the diaspora should have been rebuilt generations ago. But it has been neglected. And we have actually become the agents that have been building the walls between us instead of the bridge. It has been destroyed completely. And moments like this are forcing people to confront the truth we all have been avoiding, or many of us have been avoiding, that our separation was imposed, our division was engineered, and that our unity is actually natural. And moments like this, when the more moments like this, what we are seeing with this event with IShowSpeed, the more these kind of moments happen, the harder it becomes to lie about who we really are to each other, basically. And if moments like this make you uncomfortable, I can say this for sure, ask yourself why. But if it gives you hope, then I think I'd say you already know the truth. Share with me what you think with what is happening, what you're seeing with this IShowSpeed event in Africa. And do share with me what you think in the comment section below. If you like this video, if you like this kind of content, then give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for your time. Hit the subscribe button and be part of us. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.